to start talking to my guides and see what they feel we should be discussing or be made aware of today. We are your guides. Thank you. Okay, guides, what topic or what piece of information do you feel we should be sharing today on YouTube? So it's all about time and the attention some people put on time. Okay, can you expand that a little bit more for us? Is it the concept of time? Is it how time affects our lives? How we all keep to time? What is the concept you would like to share? So they're saying that we humans use time to regulate our activities. And we also seek to find control within the boundaries that time provides us. They're also saying that within that concept of time that we have and that we use every day, we're failing to use it correctly, or we're failing to understand it properly so that we can use it correctly. If we do insist on imposing this sort of structure of time on ourselves, on our lives, they're saying that there is a fundamental misunderstanding of what that structure of time could enable us to do if we understood it better. Work with it instead of against it. So they're saying you're always up against the ticking clock, and it doesn't have to be that way. They're saying that there would be a sure togetherness amongst us as humans on this planet if we were not ruled by time. Time separates us. It's a structure, a construct, I should say, which divides us, separates us, keeps us in our own little silos. You have to work over there and you have to work between these hours. You must go to bed at this time when you're a child. There are so many things, and they restrict us, they separate us. Saying given freedom of time, and they keep putting time in inverted commas because it is something that we've made up. Given the freedom of time, humans would be far happier, would try a more connected way of living. So it does seem to be a self-imposed restriction. Time seems to be something we've imposed upon ourselves, constructed it to try and make sense of our environment, day, night, everything around us. But in actual fact, it has kind of backfired on us a little bit, because it's organized us in such a way that we've lost a lot of our own freedom, and that's a self-imposed lack of freedom due to time. They're saying if we were to sort of do away with time altogether, that it would take us a very long time to regain our sanity, because it's such an ingrained part of who we are and how we operate as human beings on this planet. They keep showing me plants and trees and animals that they don't, they have no sort of, they don't work by the clocks. They work by the natural patterns of the earth. A flower doesn't wait until an alarm goes off to know to open up its bloom. It goes by what's happening in terms of temperature and the environment and the light. So they're just saying it's just something, it's a bizarre construct that we've put in place that no other living creature on this planet operates by, but they work with natural cycles. And for us to move back to working with natural cycles might be a bit of a stretch, but there are some things I think they're saying that we can attempt to change, which would have the effect of giving us more freedom, making us feel less constrained, less pinned down, less controlled. What are those things, guides? What sort of things could we do to get back into more natural cycles and less heavily dependent on clocks and the passage of time? Okay, saying try sleeping when you're actually tired. Obviously, that isn't always possible in the construct that we've plonked ourselves in. But they're basically saying, in the evenings, if you start to feel tired at like 8 o'clock, that's the time to listen to your body. So it's more about listening to your natural demands of your body, instead of, I've come home from work, I need some time to myself, I want some time to just chill and enjoy a movie or read a book or scroll on my phone or whatever it might be, hang out with my family. Sometimes we push that. I know I'm guilty of it. If I finally get a quiet moment when everyone else has gone to bed, even though I'm exhausted, I will stay up. I'll make myself stay up an extra hour or two so I get a total, break, and I get to be on my own and quiet for a couple of hours. But what they're asking us to do is to not ignore that cry out from our body to sleep when it needs sleep. Obviously, if you feel like you need a nap in the afternoon and you're at work, it's not going to work. But certainly in terms of like routine of bedtime, and also, waking up naturally. So if you can't do that during the week, at weekends, just allow yourself to wake up naturally if you can. What else, guys? Ask yourselves a question. Well, a big question. Why do you want time to be alive in this body, on this planet? Why do you want to be here? That's a huge question. I think they want you to kind of zoom out and notice that if time is going to have like a passage or a movement from one spot to the next on your timeline here, why be here in the first place? What is it that is calling you to be here and experience? And they want you to see time in the greatest sense, basically in the period of time that you are here and alive, and see that as a block of time, which in actual fact they're actually reminding me it's a blink of an eye in the sort of timeline of your soul's existence. It's like a flash in the pan. It's nothing. It's minuscule. But when we're here, it feels very long. But they want us to just notice, this opportunity that we have here and how to maximize our experience while we're here during the passage of time. So they're talking about the concept of time as a lifetime. Use your lifetime to experience all you can, see all you can, and feel all you can. I think that's a great reminder because, once you're in a routine and you are in the sort of Groundhog Day of human existence, as it sometimes can feel, we forget that actually there's a bigger purpose to us even being alive here. The guides would tell us that it's to experience. So we chose a set of experiences to come here and enjoy, experience, challenging ones too, not just beautiful experiences, so that our soul can learn and grow and go back to source in a more evolved state than it came. So, okay, so they're telling me now to talk a little bit more about the timeline of our lives here on Earth. So, as they have me understand it, before we come, we choose, as I said, those experiences that we would like to have, that we feel would evolve our soul and give it growth and progress it on its journey. So in order to have those particular experiences, we chose some sort of milestones before we came. So we chose some milestones along our timeline of our life and our existence on Earth. And they're kind of set in stone. They're kind of markers, experiences, events, learnings on our timeline, which are kind of, they're sort of like stakes in the ground. And the way we travel to those or get to them is up to us. So we have total free will when we're here, but our soul, which is constantly guiding us, is trying to get to those moments, those milestones that it's already set out in its plan. And so if you feel a yearning, if you feel a sense of there's got to be more than what I'm currently doing, there's got to be more to life than what I'm currently doing, or you wish, you're doing a job in an office, but you've always had this real yearning to want to work outside or work with nature or work with animals or be creative. That is your soul pulling you or attempting to pull you towards one of those milestones. It's the same as yearning for your soulmate. Again, soulmates or people in your life that you come together with and you feel like you've known them for years and years and years and lifetimes. some of those people are also chosen in advance, that you come together at certain points in your experience on earth. So while some situations feel fated, they kind of are, because they were meant to be. Like you organized this before you came, and you chose some moments and some people and some experiences to definitely happen. And obviously the journey to those moments, and those moments of fulfillment and learning, can either be a straight line. So if you are really in tune with your intuition and you're really listening to your soul's guidance, you might make a much faster and more direct route to that milestone. Equally, if you are more, let's say, less intuitive, more practical, more involved in the day to day, a bit like a magpie, even, shiny. Oh, everything's shiny, shiny over there, shiny over here. I'm going to just follow all the shiny things. You might zig and zag quite substantially at times, as you try to get to that milestone. Often, okay, yeah, so they're saying often, you might find yourself zigging and zagging over here, milestones up here, but you're way over here. You're way off the path, because you're just experiencing, right? You're experiencing life in your own way. You're using your free will, enjoying time over here. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, bang, something will upheave your life in a way you could never have predicted, but it somehow changes everything, and it lifts you up from that point and plonks you back over here. Now, you might not see it at the time, and it might feel like the worst possible thing that has occurred, and it might just take you into a place of questioning everything. But when you look backwards, you will always connect the dots, and you will always be able to see that if that had not happened over there, you would not be back on this path over here. So it's quite profound. And you may have heard, some people talk about it as a nudge from spirit, or spirit giving you a kick up the bum. It is it's your soul, to be honest. It's your soul is driving all of this. But we are so distanced from our soul. We are more in tune with our, physical ailments and what's happening in our immediate environment. We don't quieten down enough to really listen to our soul, which is inhabiting this physical body. Okay, so thank you, guys. That was a nice, profound little story about our time on Earth. And I might go into this in more detail with them on a different video. But looking at the concept of time, so let's see if there's anything else they would like to add at this point about time. Okay, so they want to talk about the concept of manifesting, so in relation to time. Okay, guys, so what is the key message you have in relation to manifesting and time? Okay, so first point is time isn't a real thing. It's a construct. So remind you of that when we're manifesting, we are looking to achieve or attract into our lives certain things. And because we are humans with this construct of time that we apply to literally everything in our lives, we believe that there is a certain amount of time required to get from A to B, or to bring something into our lives. So time in terms of the amount of work required, or time in terms of, that's a really big thing I want to attract. God, that's going to take longer. They want you to chuck that out of the window, because they're saying it's just made up. It's totally made up by humans. Everything you want already exists, and it's absolutely got nothing to do with time. So they want you to literally ditch the idea of putting something out there into the universe and waiting. It's this concept of waiting for it to come to you. They're saying it's already here. Okay, so there's no waiting, there's no time delay. Everything exists already. They're saying manifesting is all about energy. It's got absolutely nothing to do with time. So I'll just touch on it briefly because this is a massive subject, but we can go into this in another video, I think. But ultimately, they are saying you are made of energy, your thoughts are made of energy, your emotions are made of energy. The thing that you want to attract is also made of energy. Everything, they're also saying everything exists all at once. So the you that wants the car exists, the you that has the car exists, the you that has every type of car that ever was known exists. So you exist in a billion different possibilities, and it's all about aligning the energy of who you are in this possibility, this current moment, compared to the who you are in the possibility where you have the car. I'm just using the car as an example. So you need to become the energy of the person who has the car. And that's why I guess in a lot of manifesting courses and videos that people do, they talk about raising your vibration, changing your vibration, acting as if you have the item, because all you're doing is essentially switching. Imagine there is a line here with all the people, all the yous experiencing all the different things that is even possible to experience, or you experiencing every single car that there is. Okay, if you're over here, you need to change up your experience here so that your energy, your emotions, your thoughts are matching the energy, emotions and thoughts of the person who has this car over here. And when you can align all of that with the you that's existing over here, then you switch into that person. It's quite it's all about quantum physics, really, isn't it? But ultimately, ditch the idea that time has anything whatsoever to do with the law of attraction and manifesting. Okay, so that's their biggest message. Okay, so one last thing, guys, if there's anything else you'd like to add about time, what will help us? Okay, so last message, really clear. Each of you is in the perfect time and place. So in this moment right now, if anyone's feeling, oh, I really wish I wasn't here, or I really wish life was different, or I really wish this, that, and the other, because you're dissatisfied, uncomfortable, unhappy in this precise moment, they're saying that you are in the perfect moment. And if you can reframe that sentiment, so, oh my God, everything is horrific, everything's horrible, everything's heavy, everything hurts, everything is upsetting, I'm so lonely, I'm sad, I'm uncomfortable, I'm frustrated, I'm angry, all of that. So if you're in a place where you don't feel like you want to be, they're saying it is absolutely perfect. And the reason it's absolutely perfect is because there is something for your soul to get from whatever you are experiencing in this moment in time. There's something for your soul to get from this. So the key is to not resist what is in front of you and to try and bring in as much acceptance as you can. As hard as that may feel, it takes a bit of practice, but just to sort of surrender to now, this moment, allow it, and trust that there is something you are going to learn, whether it's consciously or unconsciously, that will move you through this uncomfortable period of your life. Okay, so another very profound topic. So that's something we can definitely discuss again in another video, I think. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I hope you've got something from this. It's some big questions and some big topics about time, and it's often that we don't sit and actually question, what we have taken for granted, really. So thanks very much for listening, and I'll be back with another video to discuss some more interesting and profound ideas with the guides. If you enjoyed this video, I would appreciate you help me grow my channel by clicking the notification bell, following me and subscribing, and hopefully we'll see you back again soon.